Hi. So I was asking that some of y'all had exams, right? Last week when we met. So how were your exams? Yes, I'm doing fine. Thank you for asking, Ria. Easy, nice. Good to know your exams were easy. So you're still having exams, right? Somebody said on the group you have SST tomorrow. Yes, okay. Okay, so this is a simple chapter. We'll I just need to cover one last concept and then we'll do level 1 questions. Okay, so oh, okay, you have exams till 3rd July. Okay, Muskan. Okay, so you that science result? Oh, okay, cool. That's nice. Good job. I hope you'll have done well in maths too. Was it helpful, the previous lectures? The revision class was helpful? Okay. Some both exams are starting from 4th July. Okay. Okay. Okay then. So quickly uh we'll quickly revise whatever we had done last class because that was long back, right? So I'll quickly go through all that and cover one last concept, which is how to plot the points. Right? That's easy. So, and then we'll do questions. Okay. So I hope my screen is visible. Oh, my screen is not visible. Okay, give me a minute. Now, okay, cool. Now it's visible. Okay, so it is visible. Cool. Hello, hi Puneet. So in this chapter, uh, basically what we cover is few concepts like what is x-axis, what is y-axis, what is the origin. So x-axis basically will be this line here. This is the x-axis, and this straight line will be y-axis, which is perpendicular. And this point will be origin or written as O, right? You okay? Am I audible now? Some connection issue, I guess. Is it fine? Can you all hear my voice and see my screen? Yes, cool. Okay, so last class you all would have discussed about these terms, right? X-axis, y-axis, then what is the origin? Then, so you know, right? Or should I explain all these terms once more? That this line, this horizontal line is the x-axis, the vertical line is the y-axis. This point where the two axes intersect is known as the origin. And then you would have also come across two important terms, which are one is abscissa and the other is ordinate. Can someone tell me what is abscissa? Y'all did this in the last class, right? Can you recollect, revise? I mean, anybody? You can raise your hands. Oh, you didn't do. Okay, so tell me till where did you do? Because I was under the impression I just have to explain. This is your first lecture. Oh, oh, last time ma'am told me that she did one class and now we just have to cover how to plot points. Oh, is it? Some of you are saying one class was done. We have not yet started geometry. Okay, okay. Everybody is confused. Okay, no issues. What I'll do is I'll take it up. Okay, okay, no worries. Okay, so in place of coordinate linear equations was done. Okay, okay, no worries. I'll take it up again. Okay, so very simple. First thing you need to know is the axis. Like I said, this horizontal line is the x-axis, or sometimes they denoted it as x dash. So this is also a way to denote, or simply x is fine. One at one end, like I've written y at one end, it's fine, or you can write as x dash. Raghav is asking, can I sit for the meeting? Sure, Raghav, you can refer to the recording later. Actually, I'll be done with explaining the concepts in 1 hour easily. So it's not a big chapter. It's hardly anything. So once I finish explaining, you can go, no worries. Maybe you can do the questions on your own. Okay. Okay, so we talk about the axis, right? So one way of representing it is just simply put y at one end, or you can put x and x dash at the other end. So these are the ways of uh, noting the labeling the axis. Okay, this point here is known as the origin, or also the point where the two axes intersect, right? So what else should I tell you about this? Okay. The next thing would be that this part, okay, should I just like number it for, so it's labeled like this. So you usually do all these sums on a graph paper, right? And on a graph paper, okay, Netri got disconnected. Netri, I was just saying how to label the axis. You can either label it as x dash, or simply y at one end, right? And this is the origin. This is all I was discussing till now. So origin will be 0 comma 0 or 0, right? Denoted as O. Then you do the sums on a graph sheet, right? Where you have those. You've done problems on graph sheets before, or like, is this going to be your first time? Yes, sometimes. Okay. So you would have observed there are boxes, right? 1 centimeter boxes usually, which have a little bit dark green color, right? So you use them. You normally you can make these lines in the exact center of the page, right? So done before, cool. So you know what a graph paper looks like. So basically, when you make the axis, preferably make it in the center of the graph sheet, okay, and label, like mark 1 unit as 1 centimeter. So should I write it here? Like 1 centimeter is 1 unit. General conventions. In case you have to, accommodate a large number of points on either axis, you can reduce this scale. So this is called a scale basically. Uh, right? This is to help you and basically help you to know that should we use a graph book right now? If you have one, great. Actually, you will need it only when I tell you about how to plot points, right? For the rest of the part, I'm just explaining. So yeah, if you have a graph book, you can use it for the part where I ask you how to plot points. Okay. And the ones who don't have it, that's also fine. I mean, the earliest chance you can get your hands on one is good. So then you can practice, right? Okay. So yeah, so this is how you do. So the important point to keep it in mind is this, that uh, the units should be equidistant basically. So if you are taking this, should I just mark it with green pen? So if this is 1 centimeter, okay, yes. So then this also should be 1 centimeter, right? Basically keep that in mind. Okay. Same I'm going to do it on this side. So this side will be -1, -2, and -3, right? Same here. Here on top it's plus, and okay. So this is how you label or mark the units on the axis. So now one important concept here is quadrants. So each of this these two axes divide. Somebody has a question. Do we need to make it, do you want to? I'm not really sure. I'm just explaining it here. So if you feel, you can make a rough diagram for now. Yeah, don't go to the graph book. Just make a rough diagram in your book, right? And write these things, that what is the scale, right? That you mark the units equidistant. This 1 centimeter part, you write it down. Then what I'm going to tell you next, you can write it down. That the x and y axis divide the graph into 4 planes. Starting from the top right corner. So it will be this. So this is the, we write it like this. First quadrant, and then you move anti-clockwise, right? Like this. Should I just make a small notation here? This way is anti-clockwise, right? So what are quadrants? Do the quadrants similar coordinates consider the sign of x-axis first? Once I didn't really get your question. Okay, I'll explain this concept, then let's see if you might get what I'm trying to say. So basically, as you can see, so this part here, should I just like uh so this becomes a plane here, right? This part from here to here, it becomes a plane. So basically that axis divides the graph into 4 planes. Each plane is known as a quadrant. Okay, this is just a terminology you need to remember, right? Because they are going to ask you questions on what is, like, which quadrants do points lie. So for that you need to know which is the first quadrant, which is the second quadrant, and the sign convention there. So I'll just label the quadrants for you first, and then I'll explain the sign convention. Okay, everything got it. Sorry, I think everything got erased in between too. Right? So this is the first quadrant, right? Anti-clockwise, this will be the second quadrant. This is known as the third quadrant. And the last, this is the fourth quadrant. Okay. Notice how I have written it, Roman numerals followed by the word quadrant, right? Now if you notice, what is the sign in the first quadrant? The sign will be like, okay, so you know, right, how a point is written. If I say point px comma y. This denotes the distance on the what, how should I say, this is the point on the x-axis and this will be the point on the y-axis, right? So if I say it's 3 comma 4, basically uh, 3 will be the units you're going to take on the x-axis and 4 will be the units you'll take on the y-axis, right? We'll come to, okay, so a few of you are answering. This is I write it. I don't know. Cartesian system. This is what is called. In that, this is the way points are named. Like P 3 comma 4 is basically Px comma y. So in the first quadrant, x is positive and y is positive. So both are positive. This is how you write it. Plus plus. What about in the second quadrant? X is negative and y is positive. So you write it like this. Third quadrant, both are negative. And the fourth quadrant, x is positive, y is negative. So plus minus. Okay, so the first kind of questions you encounter in this chapter will be, they will just give you some point. For example, let's say p minus 3 comma 5. Okay, and they are going to ask you which quadrant does this point lie. Can anybody answer? What is Cartesian system? Okay, Puneet, how should I explain Cartesian system in? So basically, it is the system in which the x and y coordinates. So this whole concept of having two axes, the origin, and this xy plane. This is basically xy plane is known as the Cartesian plane. And that's why this system of writing points and making quadrants and uh, having axis and all comes under the Cartesian system. So you don't need to remember much about this. This will come in the later years when there will be another addition like in 11, 12. You will have another plane which is known as the Z plane. That time it comes in handy. Okay, so for now just tell me this. P minus 3 comma 5 will lie in which quadrant? Hint, just look at the signs I have written below each quadrant. So some of you have answered. Let me see who has answered. Dhruv has answered, Netri has answered, Neki, Atharva, Elena, yes. Mansi, no, I haven't come to Abscissa and Ordinate yet. I will come to it. So some of you said you will have not touched this chapter at all, so I'm just covering the points. Once the question is this point here, P minus 3 comma 5 lies in which quadrant? Hint, just look at the signs. So this is x, this is y, right? Look at the sign. So in which quadrant is x negative and y positive? It will be the second quadrant, right? Cool. Yeah. So you got it. So this is one type of question which you're going to encounter. They just give you points, right? With the x and y coordinate and ask you which quadrant it lies. So this I find this to be the simplest way to remember, like, if in doubt, just draw a rough XY plane somewhere, anywhere in the corner of your book or paper and write this. Or if you can memorize these conventions, nothing like it. So what you can do is, you can make a table, or there is already one in your chapter notes. So what you can do is you can write like this. Second quadrant. Okay, so just write okay, this denotes you have to write quadrant here again, and you write the sign convention here, like both are positive, negative, positive, negative, negative, and fourth quadrant. will be both positive. Yeah, negative. Positive, negative. Right? So you can make a table like this and refer to it for future references. You can memorize this if it's easy for you, or simple way, just draw a rough just wherever you are working, just make a rough small x y plane like this, label it, and just put 2 points like 1 2. This will be 1 2, minus 1 minus 2, minus 1 minus 2. Okay, so automatically now if you just see 3 comma 5, you know minus 3 comma 5, okay, it lies here. So this is the second quadrant. You can use that way also to figure it out. Anyway, whichever you're comfortable with. As you practice the sums, you'll get the hang of it, that okay, you just see the point and you know which quadrant it lies. Okay. Next thing we do will be what is, okay, now I'll come to what is abscissa and ordinate. So basically there are two terms. Let me take them one by one. Abscissa. This is basically the distance from y-axis, or it is just the x coordinate. Okay, and similarly, so if this is the distance from y-axis, you're going to have a distance from the x-axis, right? So that point, that distance is known as ordinate. This is nothing but the distance from x-axis. I'll take up an example and explain. This is nothing but the y-coordinate. Okay, so let me just draw a rough axis here, right? And now the point we'll consider, let's say 2 comma 3. Okay, this is the point. So point 2 comma 3, first always make a system of labeling, right? Writing minus 1, minus 2, minus 3. Okay, and this is origin or just O, and also label the axis, right? So P2 comma 3, so 2 is nothing but the x point, so you go here, and 3, so the point is located here. This is 2 comma 3, right? Now notice that abscissa is the distance from the y-axis. So this is the y-axis. So this distance is known as the abscissa. Or if you see carefully, this is nothing but the distance on the x-axis, right? Am I making sense, or should I repeat? Or everybody is clear till here? Okay, I'll repeat. Okay, I'll repeat. So there are, I said there are two units which are important. One is abscissa, which is the distance from the y-axis. Okay, so if I give you a point 2 comma 3, right? So this is how it 2 comma 3 will be located here. Okay, we'll go into how it's located here a bit later. I'll just explain this term to you and then clarify that also. Okay, so what does abscissa say? It's distance from the y-axis. So basically I'm considering this is the y-axis, right? So I just drew dotted line till the point. So this line, so this distance measured by this line from the y-axis to the point P2 comma 3 is the abscissa of P2 comma 3, right? So that's the technical term. But if you look closely, the point is P2 comma 3, and this line is the same as the number of units on the x-axis, right? P is 2 comma 3, right? So should I write it here? The x coordinate is 2 and the y coordinate is 3. So basically this distance is the same as the distance on the x-axis, right? That's why we say abscissa is nothing but the x coordinate. Okay, yes, Neki and Puneet have got the concept, I guess, already. Cool. Okay, so I'll explain ordinate to you. So the ones who are facing difficulty, maybe it might be clear. Okay, so what is ordinate? Let's take purple pen. Ordinate is the distance from the x-axis. So this is the x-axis, right? So I will draw a line here. Distance is nothing but the ordinate, right? As per the definition, it's just the distance from the x-axis, right? But if you see closely now, this line, this distance is also 3, right? So this distance is nothing but the y coordinate because it's 3. So this abscissa, this is going to be 3 and this abscissa is going to be 2, right? Because this distance from the x-axis is the same as the y coordinate, we can also say that the ordinate is nothing but the y coordinate. Is it clear or should I explain again with another example? Explain again. Okay. I'll take another example and explain it to you. Okay. Let me just clear this canvas. Okay. I'll draw a bit bigger XY plane. Okay, got a bit. Okay, give me a minute. Okay, so it became more like a cross. So this is the y-axis, this is the x-axis. So this time we'll consider a point 3 comma 2. Okay, so first thing I mark points, equidistant points. You know the meaning of equidistance, right? That is basically same distance, that's all. So the distance between -1, -2, -2, -3 should be same. On both the axes. So if I'm taking here, sometimes you can take this distance to be 1 centimeter and this distance here to be 2 centimeter or something, or 1.5 centimeter, like that. That's also valid, but you need to mention it in the scale then. Okay, I'll come to scale part and all that too. Let me just explain these points. Okay, Elena, you did not understand. I'm taking up another example. Okay, hopefully it will be clear. Okay, so the point is 3 comma 2, so it's going to lie in the first quadrant, right? Both the points are positive. So 3 comma 2, it will lie somewhere here. Okay, let me just make a line, and so this is the point P, 3 comma 2. Okay, so now I'll just write it here again. Abscissa is nothing but the distance from y-axis, and ordinate is the distance from x-axis. Okay, as per definition. So this line here will be the abscissa, right? Distance from the x-axis is basically a line drawn from the is the abscissa. Okay, and I can say this is the ordinate. Okay, clear till here? Simple. I've just whatever as per the definition the term means, I just put it on the graph. Yes? Okay. So now if you look carefully at the point abscissa and ordinate, you notice what is the distance. Can you tell me what is the distance of the point from the y-axis? Okay, Anirban also seems to have understood. That's great. Okay, this question is for the ones of you for the ones who are facing difficulty getting this. So tell me. So I'm just asking a simple question. What is the distance of this point P from the y-axis? It's basically this line which I have, this dotted line in green which I have drawn here. Isn't it? Right? So what is it going to be? Everybody's confused. I'm getting two answers. Some of you are saying 3, some of you are saying 2. Okay, once again, I'll repeat my question. I'm asking you is from this line here, which is nothing but the y-axis. Okay, what is the distance of this point? So it is going to be nothing but this green dotted line which I have made here, right? So how much is this? How much is the length of this line? In simple terms, length of the line. Okay, so now we've reached a common answer. That's nice. Okay, anybody still saying 2? Anybody still feeling it's 2, or are we clear on that? Cool. Okay, so yes. So basically, I'm just asking you the length of 2, 3, 3 units, right? So the length of this line or the abscissa or the distance from the y-axis is 3 units. But this is also the x coordinate of the point, right? 3 is also the x coordinate of the point, so abscissa is nothing but the x coordinate, right? And if I ask you the distance of this line, this purple dotted line from the x-axis to the point P3 comma 2, it will be how many units? 2, right? Anybody having 3? Mansi, will it be 3? uh okay, typo. Cool. So my question was that what will be the distance of this point from the x-axis, or basically this line here, this purple dotted line here, what will be the length of this line, right? So if you see closely, it's nothing but 2 units, right? 2 units, okay? Or also, if you look closely at the point 3 comma 2, it's the point is 3 comma 2 or 2 units or 2, this here is basically the y coordinate of this point. So I can say ordinate is nothing but y coordinate. I know these terms are like similar. Ordinate, coordinate sounds almost same. Abscissa feels like a complete different word, right? Okay. So this was just to explain. So you're going to be asked question, they'll just give you a point P3, 2 and ask you what is the abscissa and what is the ordinate. Okay. So it's not going to be possible that all the times you can make a graph and make a dotted line like I have made and do the complete working out and say that this is the abscissa and this is the ordinate. So there is a simple way. So what is a simple way is basically I am saying point P3 comma 2 where this is nothing but my abscissa and this is nothing but my ordinate. Okay. So this is the simple way. Okay, so now again there might be like for now, since I'm saying it's easy to remember that okay, first term is abscissa, second term is ordinate. If I ask you after 5 minutes, maybe for now you might remember. Okay, if I ask you tomorrow, you might get confused that okay, first one is abscissa or second one is ordinate. So a trick here, I don't know if it helps, but I tried to remember using this because after a while it gets confusing, right? So remember, one is A and one is O. Which comes first in the alphabet? A comes before O, right? So the point is nothing but A comma O. Just a trick if you have your own way of remembering it, nothing like it. But if you feel confused, you can always use this logic, right? Because I know these are complex terms and you can get confused after a point that which is which. Cool. So just remember x. So this is also the x coordinate or abscissa, and this is also the ordinate or y coordinate, right? I hope you're making note of this down. And this explanation with the graph was to explain why the abscissa is also the x coordinate and why the ordinate is the y coordinate. I hope that is clear, right? So directly you can just look at points and name. And like I said, A comes before O, right? A comes first in the alphabetical order. So the first point will always be, the first number will always be the abscissa. Clear? Any doubts? Or does anybody want me to repeat it? Anything? I'm getting no response. Should I assume that you understood? No doubt. Okay. So I'm going to just, I hope you have understood. If you feel that I'm going fast or if you are not understanding, let me know anytime, okay? Full clear. That's nice. Awesome. So this chapter is actually simple. There is very few things which they ask you. So it's easy. So what try your best to score points in this chapter. Like not make any mistakes at all because a very limited number of questions come and they are also like straightforward, not even application based or anything. So one chapter where you can assure you'll get marks, full marks. Okay, so no doubt, no doubt. Nice, Riya. Okay, so next part I am going to explain is, oops, that's why. Sorry. This is X, right? And this is the origin. So now there is another concept which is known as mirror image of a point. Of a point. Chapter 1 to 3 are easiest in the book. Okay. I'm going to doubt that because it took a little time to register real numbers and polynomials, right? I'd say this is the easiest because real numbers you can still get tricky questions, right? Polynomials is okay if you understand it. Yeah, everything depends on how much you understand it. If you understand it, it becomes easy, isn't it? Okay, so we'll move on to the next concept, which is a mirror image of a point. So they might give you a point. Let's just consider the same one which I have been considering throughout. Okay, a point P 3 comma 2. Okay, so I'm going to mark units. I thought more easy chapters were there. All chapters related to geometry are easy. Cool. Okay, if you find that, then that's nice. Raghav says paper was scoring. Okay, so they asked you simple questions, or did they ask you questions like rationalize the denominator and application based, or something from the worksheet I think Shakti shared? There were quite few difficult questions in that for polynomials, especially. Simple. So they didn't ask you like, if this plus this is something, find the value of like the one I had taken up real numbers, right? Root 2 is equal to a plus b root 15, something like that. So find a and b. Good. If it's simple, it's nice. Okay. They did, but not hard ones. Okay, that's nice. Good that they asked you easy things. Okay. So this is a simple concept. So they might ask you, okay, so P3 and okay, so Aditya says there was a question on rationalizing the denominator. It was easy. Okay, is my voice fine now, Neki? Okay, cool. So this is the point P3 comma 2. Huh. So they might ask you three possibilities. Okay, three, what should I say? I'll just write it here. Three questions can be asked. First is find the mirror image. Okay, let me not uh, mark this one. Mirror. This is lagging a bit. Okay. So mirror image of about x-axis, right? So about x-axis means what? You consider the x-axis to be a mirror. So this will be your mirror. I'll just make it with green. So this will be your mirror, right? Which means the point is going to be this side. Okay, my voice is whiteboard is lagging. I hope the possibilities of my voice is breaking. Okay, let me do one thing. I'll just try switching off my webcam. Maybe it's taking up some internet issue. Okay, yeah, better. Okay, hopefully it will be better now. Everything is lagging. I think some connection issue. I switched off my webcam. Hopefully it will be better now. Is it fine? Is it better? Yes? Oh, okay, awesome. So I was saying that they will there is a concept called mirror image of a point. Okay, so they'll give you a point and there are three possibilities of questions which can be asked. One is mirror image about the x-axis. Okay, so in this case, so this I have drawn it in green just to show that this will be a mirror. So if it's a mirror, it means you're going to get the same point this side. So how do you get it? How it will be? The same point this side, which means it will still be 3. It will still be okay, I'll mark it with green. It will still be on 3, but it's going to be on -2 this time. So if I say mirror image about x-axis, this is what you do, right? This acts as a mirror. Okay, this line in green will act as a mirror and you will get a point behind it. Okay. Yes, the sign will change. Awesome. Some of you figured it out, right? So this is one possibility. What is the second possibility? Mirror image about y-axis, right? What I'll do is I'll explain using this example, then I'll take up another example and we'll do 2-3 questions. Then this will get clear in your head. Okay, what I'm doing. So y-axis means this. I'm going to mark the axis in purple. So right, this acts as a mirror, which means this point will be formed here somewhere, right? So where will it be formed? It will be, so notice that the numbers will remain the same, only the sign will change. So now it's going to be on, I'm just going to mark a dotted line here, right, till here. So this is going to be the mirror image about y-axis. Yes. So notice when I said x-axis, oh sorry, I did not write minus here. Okay. So when I said about x-axis, the sign of the y coordinate changed. It became -2. When when we found the mirror image about y-axis, the x coordinate changed. Right? Yes, yes. Yes, Neki, I missed that. I just clarified it. Okay. And there will be another, the last point. You must have figured it out already, haven't you? Right? This is a search scenario. So how do you find a mirror image about origin? Is nothing but this. I'll just make a dotted line. Right? So about this point, so you're going to find a mirror image. So it will be completely in the opposite quadrant. So if the point is in second quadrant, mirror image about origin will be in the fourth quadrant. If it's in the first, it will be in the third quadrant. Yes, diagonally. Awesome. So this is what it's going to be, 3 comma minus. So both the sign will change this time. So it will become -3 -2. Got it? Uh, Ma'am, when they say mirror image of x-axis, can't the mirror be on the negative x-axis? Okay, yes, I will explain this once again. So, whose question was that? One second. Yeah, Neki. So, Neki, since the point is on the first quadrant, which means x is positive, so the mirror image will be formed along the positive x-axis itself. Suppose they gave you the point as minus 3 comma 2, then the mirror image will be formed on the negative y-axis, so it will be minus 3 minus 2. Okay, I'll take another example and show it to you. Maybe it will be clear. So, main things I want to tell you is that mirror image of a point can be about three axes. So one is, two axes and one origin. Okay, so they may ask you three ways. One will be about x-axis, about y-axis, and about origin. Okay, so I'm going to take up another example and explain it so that it becomes clear. Okay, this is the y-axis. This is the x-axis. So, okay, Neki was getting confused, right? So this time we'll take a point in the second quadrant. Okay, so then all your confusions will be cleared. Okay. Somebody has a question. How did I turn the ruler? I figured that out. Magic. Okay. Yeah, I remember I was struggling last class, so I figured it out how to turn the ruler. So that's how I used it. Because I knew coordinate geometry means there will be ample of axes to be drawn and it will all just look like uh, some kids drawing if I start drawing freehand, isn't it? Hmm. Okay, so this time let's consider a point, let's say minus 4. Okay, I'll just write it here. The point we are considering is minus 4 comma 3. So it's in the second quadrant, right? So it will be nothing but, okay, I'll just mark it with this, minus 4 comma 3. So it will be here, correct? Okay, so now the three, in a mirror image question, do we have to write the coordinates or mark the points? Oh, good question. So it depends. Sometimes they might just ask you to directly just write the points, so that you'll get with practice, isn't it? Like you will realize that the mirror image, like where the which coordinate changes where about which axis, right? So they might ask you as a simple question to just write the points, or they might ask you to show it on the graph. Depends. Okay, so first about x-axis, right? So which means this is going to be my mirror, right? I marked it in green. So which point is going to change? The y coordinate. So this is a trick you notice if you keep solving sums or if you keep practicing mirror image, that along the, if the mirror is the x-axis, the y coordinate sign changes. Yes, Neki. Yes. So it was minus 4 comma 3, it will become minus 4 comma minus 3. So if I give you a point, let's say I'm going to give it to you in the fourth quadrant. So if it's going to be 2 comma minus 3, if I take the mirror image, it will be 2 comma 3, right? In this case, the point is here and the mirror image will be formed here, right? So along, if whenever they say mirror image, I'll just write it here. Write this down in your books so it's helpful when you practice sums. Mirror image about x-axis. Okay, I'll just write, This is still lagging. Okay. Sine of y coordinate changes, isn't it? Right? And mirror image about, so let's consider now mirror image about y-axis, which means this is going to be my mirror, which means the point will be formed in the first quadrant, right? So it's going to be 4 comma 3. So if I take a mirror image about y-axis, the sign of x coordinate changes. Write that down too. I'll just plot the point. So it's going to be, so I'm doing everything freehand here, right? When you do your graph, ensure that you are doing all this with a pencil and ruler at all times. Okay, coordinate geometry, if you are asked to make this on the graph, always ensure you're using a ruler. All these dotted lines also need to be shown with a ruler. Yeah, if they ask you a mirror image, you need to show these dotted lines. So, right? Yes, Puneet, awesome. So, mirror image about origin will change both the signs. So, about origin will be what? Oh, I did not write the point here. Sorry. So, about x-axis it will become minus 4 comma minus 3, right? And if I take about origin, both the x and y sign will change, isn't it? So it will be basically a diagonal. We can write it as p 4 comma minus 3. Okay, so clear mirror image now. How do I take it as diagonal? Okay, it's because we are finding the mirror image about origin. So origin is this point, right? 0 comma 0. That's why it will be a diagonal. So it's about this point. Uh, right? If we take a mirror image, like basically if it's this line, if I take mirror image of something, it's going to be here, right? That way, since it is just a point, we take it and it's point on that. So there are two mirrors basically in this case. So it's an intersection. That's why it's diagonal. I don't know how to explain it better, but because it's you know about 2 points. So one point on the x-axis and one point on the y-axis. That's what the origin is. The point where x and y coordinate is 0, right? Yeah. So that's how diagonal. So I hope you have written down the things I was talking about, that mirror image about x-axis, sign of y coordinate will change, then mirror image about y-axis, x coordinate will change, the sign, right? And about origin, the sign of both x and y will change, right? I hope it's clear from the two examples. Okay. Okay, so this last concept, then I'll just quickly show you how to plot a point, right, with all concepts taken into account. Yes, for now, for this, you can, if you have a graph book, that would be awesome. If you could use a graph book, it would be nothing like it. Okay, what I'll do is I'll just make a column here and write the steps. Okay, so all those of you who don't have a graph book, you can make a note of this somewhere, or when you do make it on the graph book, watch this recording, either whichever is comfortable, but do you need to follow these steps, right? So first make x and y axis, right, like I did. Then label it, right? You can label it as y dash, x, x dash, or just xy, anything, and label them. What is the next thing you're going to do? You're going to mark points with, yes, yes, Aditya, you can do this on a graph paper. So you're going to mark points, right, using a ruler. Normal convention, we take 1 centimeter as 1 unit, normally, in most 99% of cases, right? And so I'm labeling the points on the x-axis first. Yeah, so basically Natri, in this chapter, since it's just going to be plotting points, I think it's advisable you draw all 4 quadrants, like cover points at least. So even if you know that the point they have asked you is in the first quadrant, draw it in such a way that the third and fourth quadrant are also important. Raghav, you can, I'm just showing you how to plot a point. I mean, I don't know if, yeah, you can leave, you can watch this later, sure. This recording will be there, right? You can watch it later. So this is just the last concept. Uh, so if you want, you can stay or you can leave, anything. Okay, so I'm going to point out all the questions you have while you are going to use the graph paper. So like I said, yes, all 4 quadrants should be there on the paper. Preferably make the origin on the center. So divide your graph paper in such a way that the x-axis divides it in half, equal half. Okay, so you can utilize the entire graph paper, correct? No, I will be taking few example questions. Then you can go. So after this concept, I'm going to quickly go through easy questions, right? Because there's only one class. So you all are saying that last class you all didn't do anything. So let me take up questions too. Okay? Yeah, I'll try to finish it soon. So definitely before 5. Okay? So all those of you are using graph paper, am I being clear with what you have to do? Right? Is it understandable? Yeah. You divide the graph paper in such a way that uh yeah, that's what. So you all have saying, right? You all didn't have coordinate geometry class earlier, so that's why I just want to go a bit slow. Okay. Anyway, this after this we'll just be doing questions. So quickly we'll do a few questions, right? It won't take much time. So divide your graph paper in such a way that the x-axis is going to cut it in half and the y-axis will make then equal 1/4 portions. You're getting it, right? Okay. Then you mark equidistant points, usually 1 centimeter apart. So you will go like till 10. No, you don't need to write this. You are using a graph paper, so I'm telling you how to do it. Because I don't have one, right? So I have to explain it like verbally that what do you do. Okay, next doubt which you will have is y-axis. Which side should I label it? Isn't it? That's going to be a doubt you're going to have when you start solving that. Okay, x-axis is easy to label the points. Where and how should I label y-axis? So what you can do is you can label it on the right side or on the left side, whichever is convenient. But ensure that both in what you say in all quadrants it's facing the same side. Like if you are going to label it on the left here on top, then make sure to label it on the left on the bottom also. Okay. I can't show here with grids because I don't seem to have grids here. It's just like, uh, do I have grids? Oh, cool. Let me see. No, that's this. Okay, so I won't be able to show you with. Okay, how do I get rid of this now? Okay, fine. Yeah, so these grids just come when I'm trying to like zoom in and stuff, but they in the settings you say, okay, let me check. Oh, it's already. Oh, awesome. Is it going to stay like this? Okay, this is great. Thank you for helping me out. Okay, this is much better. So I kind of got. Thank you, Mansi. So I kind of got a graph. So maybe this will help, right? In explaining. Right, so you first draw the x and y axis. Okay, this made it much easier. So I don't. Yeah, this is the origin. So now equidistant point. So this is almost like this will be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Right? So like I was saying, x-axis, you know that how to label it. There is only one way, isn't it? But in case of y-axis, you can either label it on the right side or on the left side. So if I'm going to do right side here, then bottom also it should be on the right side. That's all. It's easy to maintain uniformity. That's all I'm saying. Right? Okay. This was what I was saying. So yeah, always don't forget to mention the O there. And is that okay if I make all of 9? 9 what, Aditya? Like 9 units? Or what are you saying? Yeah, you can follow a different scale. Like you can take 2 centimeter as 1 unit also. That's fine. But just maintain uniformity. So everywhere, yeah, 9 units is fine, fine. Yeah, you can extend this line. So for me, I took it till -5. You, I think on the graph paper, you might accommodate till 10, 15, right? Both x and y. So that's fine. You can stop wherever it's convenient. Depends on what they have asked you, isn't it? Okay, so do not forget to label the x-y axis, the origin. And another important thing which you're going to do is you're going to write, I'm not sure if it's required at this point, but it's a good practice. So if you're dealing with graph, it's a good practice to mention scale. How do you mention scale? You write scale. Below that you write x-axis. So I have taken 1 centimeter equal to 1 unit. Okay, I'm just going to write it below. I just write it a bit below this side. Okay, x-axis, I write it like this, and 1 centimeter equal to 1 unit. And then I write y-axis, and then I write 1 centimeter equals to 1 unit. Right? This is a good habit. So these are the prerequisites you do, and you're done. Right now you start. So now I'm going to give you a question. So my point is going to be, let's take something on this side, -5, comma 2. Okay, so like I said, -5 will be the x coordinate and 2 will be the y coordinate. So I take a ruler. In case you are using a graph, you can easily locate it and just point, just mark the point, and then make a dotted line using a ruler. Okay, and this side also. Okay, and then always a good practice to write the same point as it is along with the coordinates. This is how you plot a point. This is all I was trying to show you. On a graph, how do you plot a point is this. Okay, so first thing, you divide the graph paper. Utilize the whole space. How do you utilize the whole space? By drawing the x-axis roughly in the center. Yes? Yeah, you can make a dotted line, Puneet, so that it you need to show these dotted lines, because there is not much there in this chapter actually. So all these small details is what they'll be checking, I believe, right? Whether you've labeled the axis, whether you've labeled the origin, whether you've written the scale, whether you've mentioned the point, where, like, if you've written p -5 comma 2, if you've drawn dotted lines. So do it as a good practice. It will be beneficial. Okay. Okay, so this is done. So this is basically the last concept I was trying to cover, which is they'll ask you how to plot points. Okay, clear? Just keep this in mind when you are going to solve sums. Okay, so basically you are going to get roughly, I'm just going to note down what kind of questions. First, they are going to ask you which quadrant does a point lie? Right? They'll give you a point and they'll ask you which quadrant it is. Then they'll ask you to what is the abscissa and ordinate of a point. Right? The third thing they are going to ask you is location of a point. They'll just locate a particular point, either on graph, or they'll give you a graph. They provide a graph. You just have to point it. Right? Okay, and what is the last one you get is mirror image. Mirror image mein there is about x-axis, B about y-axis, and C is about origin. So this basically covers your chapter. Okay. Ryan, you can leave if you want. I will take another at least half an hour, right? Okay, so these are the basic questions which you will get from this chapter, and this is like the gist of the entire chapter. This is all they ask you. Okay, so now what we'll do is we'll just quickly solve level 1 questions. Okay, a few level 1 questions because they are very simple and they are going to, boost your confidence, right? So, okay, let's take the first one. 3.1.1. Write the answer of each of the following questions. What is the name of horizontal and vertical axis drawn to determine the position of any point at any point? So this is why you need to know Cartesian. They might just give you this along with the question. Okay, they are not going to ask you the definition of Cartesian. It's just the system, right? The X and Y system, basically. Close. Netri, read the question again. They're asking you what is the name of the lines. Uh, your answer is the second. Actually, the answer to the second one. What are the lines? The horizontal and vertical lines we draw? Yeah, yes, you got it now. Okay, who else has answered? Atharva has answered. Yeah, cool. Arav, Shivesh, Elena. Okay, there is nothing to explain in Cartesian. It's just the term given to X, the whole system. You didn't understand the question. Okay. Uh, I think you all are getting confused with the word Cartesian. So Cartesian is nothing but this whole system of having x, y, and 0, right? That system is known as Cartesian. Just remember that. So don't worry too much on that. So what they're asking you is that plane, the xy plane, we draw two lines, right? We draw a vertical line and a horizontal line, correct? So what is the name of those lines? What are the lines we have been drawing so far? Yes, Alina, you got it. Puri, did you get it now? Just ignore the word Cartesian and try to find it out. What is the name of the horizontal and vertical lines drawn to determine the position of any point? Actually, the answer is right there. Right there, like looking at you. Cool, Rakshita, yes. Mansi, yes. Puneet, yes, you got it, finally. Yeah, so the answer is x and y axis. That's all. Horizontal line, x axis, vertical line, y axis. That's what we draw to determine the position of a point, right? Okay, now the next part. Somebody had already answered the second part. Yes, Anirban, you're right. Okay, what is the name of each plane formed by these two lines? So these two lines form four planes. I'll give you a hint. So yes, cool. Netri, Atharva, Mansi, Rakshita, Aditya. Awesome. Anirban, Aink. Uh, they are asking you the name of the plane. So I covered it initially. I told you that the lines will divide it into four planes. What is each plane called? Yes, Shivesh. Rakshita, no. Elena, yes. Arav, yes. Okay. So they are asking you. I'll just draw it here, isn't it? That will be better. Okay. So now the first answer was x and y axis. So now I have x and y axis, correct? This is x, this is y, right? So now they're forming four planes. So this is one, this is two, this is three, and this is four. These are the four planes formed by the axis. So what are they called? Is the question. Yes, Sarah. Okay, Rakshita is answering the third one. I'm still on the second one. So what is each called? Like there's a word after this, right? That's all the word they are looking for. It's basically quadrants. Okay? Yes, Nikki. Yes, Ria. So if you read the question again, does it make sense? What is the name of each part of the plane formed by these two lines? Right? So they form four quadrants. So what is each part of the plane is nothing but a quadrant. Okay, and the last one. Okay, last one I want the answer from all of you. Write the name of the point where these two lines intersect. So which line are they talking about? Is x and y axis. Netri, are you sure? Anirban, yes. Alina, yes. Shivesh, yes. Atharva, Aditya, Mansi, Neki, Molly, Sarah, yeah. Yeah, you all are right. So, which is the point where x and y intersect is this point here, which is this point known as origin. Acha, so maybe I should just add one more thing. Acha, if a point is if a point is on the x-axis, suppose it's here, okay? What if this is the point? What does this imply? That y coordinate is 0. Yes, naked. Yes. Okay, so this is another tip you can keep in mind, or you can write whenever you get a point on the x-axis. If they say, suppose, okay, they might give you explicit sentences like this, like a point y lies on the x-axis. Should I change this? Make it something else. Let's say a point z, right? Because we have y-axis. Okay, so they'll just tell you point z lies on the x-axis. What does it imply? That y coordinate is 0. And similarly, if they say a point q lies on y-axis, what does it imply? So this, I hope you know, like this symbol here, this equal to with an arrow means implies. Okay, so this implies that x coordinate is 0. Cool. And at origin both are 0, isn't it? What is the point? Origin is written as 0 comma 0. So this is O, okay? This is not 0, this is O. O 0 comma 0. Cool. Okay. Answer the following question based on the figure below. Okay, let's see this. First part, abscissa and ordinate of point B. So what is abscissa and what is ordinate? Just tell me one by one that what is the, okay, you can give me, I want to know abscissa and ordinate also. So separately. Okay, cool. Okay, I'm getting mixed answers. Some are saying it's 3 comma 4, some are saying it's 4 comma 3. Okay. Okay, I think few of you are still confused. Okay. I'll just take it up again. Yes, Shivesh, that is the definition. Or what you can do is just write this, right? So suppose you are given a point. Let's say what 3 comma 4. So this means this is the x coordinate and this part is the y coordinate. And this also implies that this is the abscissa and this is the ordinate, right? So a point, if I tell you I have a point and I say any point, like say -3 comma -1, right? So first x comes and then y comes, right? This also you can remember it alphabetically, what comes first, x and then y. So in this question, what is the point? B is nothing but 4, right? See closely, this is 4 and this is 3. On the y-axis it's 3, so the point of B is 4 comma 3, or the abscissa is 4 and the ordinate is 3, for the ones who got confused. Yes, always x coordinate comes first. Shivesh, abscissa is the length of the y-axis. Don't go into all that, just remember what I said right here, okay? Just remember this much. If you write a point, if you are given this, right? Yeah, if anybody wants to leave because they have a test tomorrow, it's fine. I'll be taking up a few more questions, then I'll be done. Like in another 15-20 minutes, I'll be done. Okay. You can see the recordings later, no worries. Okay, so just remember what I have written here always, right? If you get a point, first comes the x and then the y coordinate. First abscissa, then ordinate. Remember alphabetical order. Easy, no? Then to remember. Okay, so now they are asking you what is the x and y coordinate of M? Easier question. Tell me. Okay, you can directly just write the point form as dash comma dash and tell me. Second part, the x coordinate and y coordinate of the point M are dash and dash. Hence the coordinates of point M are, let's see if you get it this time. Yes, Mansi, Atharva, cool. Okay, Anirban, they are asking you x coordinate and y coordinate. So just answer that. Sarah? Sarah, uh, check, read the question once more. Yes, Elena. Yes, Sarah, you got it now. Okay, so always see the horizontal line, then see the vertical line. So what will be M? What will be the coordinate of M? -3. You always see x first. -3 is the point on x-axis and 4 is the point on the y-axis. So the point is -3 comma 4. Yes, Aditya, you had a doubt? Tell me. Okay, till he comes back with his doubt, let's tell me the third one. The x and the y coordinate of point L are, we just do one more, then we'll move on to the next one. Okay, L will be Anirban. Can you check how is that, if what you're saying? Yes, Elena, Mansi, Vansh, Atharva, awesome. Okay, if you see carefully, first look at the x-axis. I think few of you are still confused. How do you see? So see the x-axis first. Okay, so the point L is here. What is the point on the x-axis? Yeah, Aditya, I've been saying x coordinate comes first. When did I say y comes first? I have written here, see? X coordinate comes first, y coordinates come second. I've been writing that. X first, y next. I think you misunderstood. Yes, Molly, awesome. So I think you had a confusion. Molly, are you clear now? Which comes first, right? So always look at the point on the x-axis. first? Which are you talking of, Aditya? Second one? Yeah, it's 4 comma 3. Correct. Where is the confusion? I didn't understand. Okay, so for the third one, for L, the point is going to be -5 comma -4. Yes? Anybody having any questions? Still any doubt? How is it like this? Always the x coordinate comes first. Okay. Okay. Uh, let's move on to, okay, you can do the third one on your own. Let's see. Let's see this one. Okay, I'm going to, maybe this will help. This figure. Now all of you should answer correctly. 3.1.4. Okay. What is the coordinates of B? So where is B? B is here. B is here. Right. What is the coordinates of B? I want all of you to answer this correctly. Awesome. Mansi, Netri, yes. Elena, yes. Molly, again, confusion. Puneet, yes. Shivesh, yes. Muskan, yes. Arav, Sara, yes. Netri, yes. Okay. -5, comma 2. Coordinates of B are going to be -5. Anirban is -5, comma 2. B, Shivesh, B. -5, comma 2. Cool. Okay, then tell me this directly, the third one. The point identified by the coordinates, what does it say? -3, comma -5. How will you read -3, comma -5? X coordinate is -3 and Y coordinate is -5. So which point is it? I gave you hint. Oh, yes, Vansh, Aditya, Atharva, Sara, Anirban, Elena, Shivesh, Netri, Vansh, Molly, Aditya. You're right. Mansi says H. Why, Mansi? I'm asking you the coordinates -3, comma -5, which will be, first you read from X. X is the horizontal. So horizontal, say -3 will be here. Right here. Okay, and then -5 on the H. Okay, what question are you guys answering with H? Oh, okay, I see you are having difficulty in this. Okay, I'm going to explain it to you quickly. I don't want ruler. Okay, so when they give you a point, right, forgive my shaky axis. This is the y-axis, the vertical line. Okay, always. Horizontal line is the x-axis. Okay, and now I'm going to give you 1, 2, 3. -1, -2, -3. ठीक है? 1, 2, 3, -1, -2, -3. Okay, so now if I say I want a point -2, comma -3, how will you read it? How will you locate this? Okay, let's say Q. Okay, so it will always be -2 means first point is X, second point is Y. Always remember. This is abscissa, this is ordinate. Remember alphabetical order. if this helps. Okay. Yeah, so the first x, so from x minus 2, so from I'm going to mark it here minus 2, correct? Then I go to y-axis, which is the vertical line, and then I mark minus 3 here, right? So the point where minus 2, which is nothing but, so I'm going to extend this, and I'm going to extend minus 3. The point where these two meet is nothing but q. Clear now? Clear? Is it clear to everybody? How do you read it? Okay, if I'm going to say p 3 comma minus 2, where is it going to be? It's going to be here. 3, as in I'm going to mark 3 here. Okay, this is an easy way of solving points. Okay, mark 3 and then minus 2. So I mark minus 2 here. Then I'm going to extend these lines, right? I'm going to extend these lines, and where they intersect is going to be my p, my 3 comma minus 2. Get it right? Yes. Awesome. Mansi says first quadrant. How? It's 3 comma minus 2. Minus comes niche. Huh. Confused. Okay. I think you all will need little practice to get which quadrant. But just if you need to locate a point, if they give you any point, I want you to start remembering, or keeping it in mind that the first point is x, second point is y. Okay, so you're going to locate phi on the x-axis and minus 2 on the y-axis. Right? The point where where these 2 points intersect will be your required r. Got it? Okay. Then tell me this. Tell me the coordinates of point M. In this question, what is the coordinates of point M? Where is M? I don't see M only, first of all. Haha, there is no M. Okay, tell me points G. I don't see M, so tell me G. Yeah, no M. I'm asking G. Coordinates of point G. Cool. I want all of you to answer. I have got answers from Atharva, Netri, Mansi, Shivesh, Aditya, Neki, Sara, Anirban. Awesome. Elena, awesome. Arav, yes. I want answers from all of you. Yes. What about the rest? Are you getting it? Are you confused? Let me know. I'm asking the coordinates for point G, right? Since I also couldn't locate M, I don't know where is M. Okay, so tell me where is point G. So what is it going to be? G. So first I look on the x-axis. X-axis पे 2. Yes, Molly. Good. I hope you're clear now, Molly. Right? So first you see x-axis, right? So 2 from the x-axis and 4 on the minus 4 on the y-axis. So the point, the coordinates are going to be there. Coordinates are going to be 2 comma minus 4. Correct? 2 comma minus 4. Coordinates of G. I think they printed M by mistake. Right? Awesome. Puneet also gave the answer. Okay. Then we are going to do, you can do 3.1.5 on your own. Tell me this. 3.1.6. Point minus 3 comma 5 lies in which quadrant? If you just see here, you have a reference graph right here. Just look here and you can answer. You don't need to memorize anything or go back. Come on, all of you answer. Which quadrant? Okay. Aditya, Alina, Mansi, Netri, Atharva, Shivesh. Shivesh, I'm asking you which quadrant does it lie? No. Check again. Yes, Netri. Awesome. Puneet, yes. Shivesh, so the question is which quadrant? We divided the plane and we divided the XY system into 4 quadrants, right? Counterclockwise labeling, right? So which quadrant? Ria says, Ria, can you check your answer? Okay, everybody's confused again. Okay, point minus 3 comma minus 5. Look at this graph right here. This graph for 3.1.2, right? Which we were seeing. You can see my cursor. Okay, so minus 3 comma minus 5, which means minus 3 on the x-axis here and 5 on the y-axis here. So it will be in the second quadrant. Clear? Clear? No confusion now, right? Just see this graph right here. It's right there, isn't it? So you just can see the graph and tell me that it's minus 3 comma 5. So it's going to be in the second quadrant. Okay, tell me the second one then. Signs of the abscissa and ordinate of a point in the second quadrant are. Okay, this is, you can pick up the answer from the first one and tell me. Okay. Yes. Oh, sorry. Yes. Yes. Oh, awesome. I'm getting answers from many of you. Anirban, can you check once? Are you sure about your answer? Awesome. The rest of you, good job. Netri, Sara, Ria, Muskan, Molly, Atharva, Puneet. Awesome. So you are getting it, right? What about this one? Point 0, comma 7 lies where? Cool. Puneet is right. Yes. You can just type the option name if you want, like A, B, C, D. Don't write the whole thing. Chalega. Okay. Mansi says 4. Mansi, see the question 0, comma minus 7. If it's 0, which means Anirban. Point is 0, comma minus 7, which means x-axis, x coordinate is 0. On the origin ka coordinates are 0, comma 0. Elena, I believe I lost your answer somewhere. Yeah, Elena, I did lose your answer. Yeah, I got it. Yep, you're right. Okay. Oh, you want me to draw? Okay. Yeah, sure, I can do it. So, okay. So it says what? 0, comma minus 7, isn't it? 0, comma minus 7. So if it's 0, which means there's no point on the x-axis, minus 7 means which we are going to go here. Okay, I just label it quickly. Two, three, 4, 5, correct? Minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4, minus 5, minus 6, minus 7. So I'm going to mark the x coordinate first. So point is 0, comma minus 7. So 0 on the x-axis, which means it's here, correct? And 7, minus 7, which means here. So since the point on x-axis is 0, so this itself is going to be the point. 0, comma minus 7. So where does it lie? On the y-axis. Clear now? Netri, your answer is what? I don't know. But if you have written y-axis, it's right. Okay, if you get a point, yeah. So now tell me the second one. Point minus 10 comma 0 lies where? Now they have become a little bit specific. Which side does it lie? Yes, Puneet, you're right. Arav, are you giving me the answer for minus 10 comma 0? Elena, yes. Aditya, yes. Mansi, yes. Okay, Arav. So in this case, y coordinate is 0, right? So where is it going to be? So in this case, I'm just going to, mm, add some points here. So let this be minus 10. Okay, assume it. So in this case, my x coordinate is minus 10 and y coordinate is 0. So the point is here. This is my point. Let's say r minus 10 comma 0. So where is it lying? On the negative side of the x-axis, isn't it? Yes. Did you get it, Arav, now? Yes, Anirban. Cool. Okay. Let's see what else can we do. Okay, they are all simple. I want you to tell me this one. 3.1.15 coordinates of P are. Let me see if you have got it or not. Awesome, Atharva. Come on, I want answer from all of you. If you're going to tell me this answer correctly, I'm going to stop. Puneet, yes. Shivesh, yes. Mansi, yes. Sara, yes. Muskan, Netri, yes. Elena, yes. Arav, yes. Aditya, yes. Dhruv, yes. Riya, yes. Nirban, yes. Awesome. I want all of you to answer. Nikki, yes. Riya, yes. Molly, yes. That's nice. I can see most of you have answered it correctly. Good. So, what about the rest of you? Acha, I think almost everybody answered. Cool. That's nice. So yes, the answer is minus 2 comma 4. So all confusion in that aspect is cleared, I hope. Right? So if you see, most of the questions are same, like which quadrant do the points lie? Tell me where where the abscissa will be negative. I think you can do these on your own, isn't it? Answer the following. Cool. Okay then, I'm going to let you go since you have a test tomorrow also. So try doing level 1 questions on your own. We covered most of it, so only 2, 3 are left, isn't it? And they are all the same. Yeah, okay, 3, 4 are left. They are pretty easy. Okay, so try doing them on your own. No, I'm not giving you any homework because few of you have exams, right? I don't want to add burden right now. Okay, no homework. You can practice for your exams, and the rest of you can solve questions from here. When I do give homework, you can directly upload it. Bye bye. I hope you understood, and all the best for your exams. All those of you who have, right? Bye.